Today's gonna be fun.
Sometimes I gotta.
So today we're gonna be talking about the tech that I use on my vlogs, like my drone and my camera. So first off, probably the most important thing is the camera. I use this, which what we're filming on right now is the Lumix G7 Panasonic with a 14 by 42 millimeter lens. And before we get into tripod and microphone and all the rest of that stuff, let's talk about the camera first. So the Lumix G7 is going to set you back around $500. Now I know it seems a bit steep for a camera, but if maybe you're just getting into it and everything like that, it's probably one of the cheapest cameras you can get with all the things that come on it. So this camera comes with the lens, comes with the camera, it's all you need. I use the microphone and the tripod that we'll go over in a little bit, but the camera, it's really good. This camera has a surprisingly good autofocus, a touchscreen. It can go through and change all the kinds of settings if you want to, or there's the intelligent photo and video modes, which is actually what I'm using right now, in the intelligent mode, where it's tracking my face on the camera, and that's where the focus stays. So all in all, it's a really good camera. Moving on to tripods, we're using the Joby GorillaPod. I've seen this used by a lot of other YouTubers and a lot of filmmakers, and it's just one of those things where it's really, really useful in a lot of different situations. You can see in the box the way it bends. You can bend it however you like. You can wrap it around poles, you can go and lay it out flat, and there's ways to just quickly snap in and snap off the camera for when you need it and when you don't. This specific tripod costs about $50, and I'm telling you right now, it's definitely worth the money. Next on the list is our audio. So right now you're listening to this on the Video Mic Go. It's made by Rode. This microphone is about $100, and honestly, you can tell from the audio what you're listening to right now. It's really good. It's really good, not worth as much. I mean, you'll go out there and you can go and buy a $500 microphone for your camera, or you can get this $100 one. It's small, it's compact, you can take it anywhere, and it sounds good. Next, we're getting into something that you guys usually don't see, and we haven't really implemented a lot into the vlogs yet, but my drone. So this right here is the DJI Mavic Pro 1. I got it for $500, and it is one of the best drones I've ever flown. It's really compact, it's easy to travel with. I have a lot of friends who are professional photographers who use this drone, and you're not going to get a whole lot better than this, especially for $500. Along with that comes with this little remote control. The way the remote control works is you pull out these little tabs here, take the antennas out like this, your phone goes right here, and that's how you can go and see what the drone sees on the camera. Now along with that, the DJI Mavic Pro only has about 23 minutes of flight time on a single battery, so you're not going to get a whole lot unless you have extra batteries, which we have 2 extras, which makes it 3. We can fly for about an hour or so. And another thing you're going to need, because it's a drone and things are bound to happen, whether through your fault or someone else being dumb, extra propellers, because people like to go and break stuff. See what I mean? I break everything. Next, we have a little bit less expensive tripod that I use just to stick my phone in, and this is just for when I want to set up shots. And like a lot of the time lapses that you see are done for my phone, because iPhones, if you didn't already know, iPhones have one of the best time lapse technology in most of it. And honestly, I prefer the time lapse on my phone to the camera. It's a lot easier to work with, and honestly, it's a lot easier to set up. Now we go on to the second microphone that we have that's more for when I'm making videos at my desk or doing something with a screen recorder on my computer. This little guy right here. This is a Blue Yeti microphone, USB microphone that plugs in right into your computer. You can change a lot of the settings on your computer, as well as little dials here on the back of the microphone. And yeah, you get that nice studio quality stuff when you're doing stuff at your desk. Speaking of stuff on your desk, wireless Logitech keyboard and mouse. Speaking of things on the computer, when you're going and trying to record stuff on your screen or trying to record gameplay and everything like that, you need something to record it that's not the software, just because it'll be too hard on the computer, and a lot of times you get a lot of lag and everything like that, so you don't want to do that. So this right here is the Elgato HD60S capture card. This is used for basically everything when it comes to all my gaming stuff and screen recording, like reaction videos and everything like that. So alongside with my regular iPhone that I use, that in yesterday's vlog you guys saw I vlogged completely on this iPhone, I have a backup phone, this Samsung Note, and it just helps with photography and other stuff like that, so I use that. So as many of you know, I do a lot of my work on the computer, so we've got one Dell laptop and the backup one. I use the larger one for just about everything. The backup is more of a keeping all the memory and storage and everything like that in case something happens with the first one. Sometimes people ask me, you know, what controller I use for all my gaming stuff, because I'm able to do certain kinds of maneuvers and everything that's not able to be done on regular controllers. So this is the controller I use. This is the Scuf Vantage 2. I would say go get it, but also it's kind of a high price tag for a controller. It's $200. And if you looked at any of the old videos, I already broke one of the paddles. I've only had it for a few months, but the paddle's broken. I'm getting that replaced. Scuf is sending me some new ones. All in all, it's a good controller, but I just think the paddles could be a little bit more sturdy. My backup to that is a little bit of an alternative. It's $60. It's the Sadie's Elite controller. Don't really use this all as much just because the quality of it is not really as good as Scuf. And last but not least, as far as the tech that I use that you'll probably end up seeing in these vlogs for now, that I want to share with you today is this. I don't play Xbox as much anymore as I do PlayStation, but this right here is the Xbox Elite controller. And comparing that to the Scuf $200 controller, this one, so much better. This is the best controller I think any company has ever made. It just feels right in your hands, and all the different things that you can change out and kind of make your own with it is just good job, Microsoft.
Sometimes I gotta drift away. Things can never be the same once action comes into play. She didn't know he'd take advantage. He took the cookie, then ran it on her bed, crying where she laid. Later to find herself visualizing, playing in her mind a million times. And when she finally realized that she was silent, closed her fist, ready to get violent. Her colors were vibrant, the room stood silent. She preached a beautiful sonnet on how she had to drift away. Some listened.
And one last thing before I forget. When I go traveling and I need to carry all this stuff behind me, camera backpack. I hope you enjoyed me showcasing some of the stuff I use in the vlogs. If you want to see more stuff of the tech that I have and other things that I'm using for vlogs, or if you want any more information about the stuff I got back here, let me know in the comments. Alright, now that's all over, let's move on with the vlog. So I'm getting a lot of work done right now on my phone, and I think a lot of times people think that just because you're on your phone you can't be productive. I'm on my phone. If I would go and check inside the screen time, I'm probably on my phone an average of 14 to 16 hours a day. You know, it's probably less now that I've started vlogging. I know before the vlogs and everything like that, it was definitely up there in those numbers. Now it's probably down to like, I don't know, maybe 11 to 12. But you can be productive on your phone, and you can spend time engaging with other people on social media and studying trends and kind of consuming content to learn before you go and put out your stuff. I studied social media for 6-7 years before I even started really putting out the kind of content that would be able to do anything. And now, you know, I'm kind of churning out content all over the place like a machine because I've done the research and I've studied it all, and I see what people are doing that are successful, and I've studied the people who, for whatever reason, they make really good content but can't seem to grow, and I've tried to figure out the reasons why. So you can be successful by doing a whole lot of this and less just hanging out. So, and that's saying something coming from someone who's working from their phone in their bed in the middle of the day. Alright, I am all done with my work for now. I'm starving. Let's go get food. So I was going to leave and go get Jersey Mike's because they make really, really good subs. But we have stuff to make burgers here, so I think I'm going to do that.
Sometimes I gotta. 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 Sometimes I gotta drift away, drift away, drift away. Sometimes I gotta drift away, drift away, drift away. Sometimes I gotta drift away, drift away, drift away.
You know, I really don't have any crazy like dietary restrictions. I try to eat healthy for the most part. I'll have, you know, the occasional bag of chips and everything else, but most of my meals consist of, it's a little bit bright in here. Most of my meals consist of, you know, either just a main protein, you know, some kind of starch usually, and then some vegetables, something like that, is generally what I kind of try to base everything around, except for breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. And I know it's not the best to never go and eat breakfast, but it's just something where I'm not really hungry in the morning. So what I'll usually end up doing is snagging either a cup of coffee or a Gatorade, just depending on how I'm feeling in the morning. And I go on my day, and I usually don't eat till probably 11:30, noon o'clock. No, almost said noon o'clock. We're gonna keep it in. Usually don't eat till noon. So yeah, it's usually 2 meals a day. Lunch will be a little bit smaller, and dinner ends up being a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger meal. So that's kind of how my days usually go. I usually don't find myself very hungry in the morning. That's just kind of how I am. I stay up late, and I'll eat a little bit later. So that probably has something to do with it. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a bit of a shorter video than yesterday's, but I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some value out of kind of seeing the setup that I use. I wish the focus on this would not be busted up right now, which is fine. I'll fix that setting later. Really hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you tomorrow. So good.
Sometimes you gotta.